Hello, my name is Emma Marshall and I'm going to show you how to clean and maintain your tools as part of my Level 3 Leader in Forest School qualification. It's really important to safely store, clean and maintain tools to keep yourself and all of your learners safe during your forest school sessions. So I'm going to go two by two. I've got my toolboxes here. I've got my small toolbox for my small tools and then my large toolbox. Both of these boxes are lockable so that we can keep all of our tools safe, and we only take the tools to site that we intend to use in that session, and they always come up and down with us. We never leave any tools on site. After every session, the tools are checked that they're correctly stored, maintained and cleaned to make sure that they stay safe for our learners. So I'm going to start with my sheath knife. I'm going to remove the cover, check the cover for cracks, that it is in a good state of repair, and then I'm going to have a look at the knife, check the handle, do a visual check of the blade, make sure that it's secure, and then I'm going to sharpen the sheath knife using a whetstone. So I have a whetstone ready here. I'm going to hold it at an angle and push it gently against the stone. We start at the base and move closer to the tip, remembering how many strokes we've done, because then we need to turn it round and sharpen it the same amount of times on the other side. This makes sure that it sharpens evenly, and that has given that a sharpen. I'm going to pop it back into its sheath. First I'm going to give it a clean. So I'm going to use the glove from above technique. I'm going to dip my fingers in the water, and I'm just going to give the knife a wipe to remove any debris from the knife. And I can now resheath the knife and pop that back safely in my toolbox. It's ready to use in a future session. Next, I'm going to have a look at my bill hook. So I'm going to take my bill hook out of its cover. I'm going to do a visual check again. Check that the blade is strong. Check that the handle isn't cracked or broken. That all looks fine, but I can see some rust on my bill hook, so I'm going to use some wire wool to remove that. I've got some wire wool and some oil, so I'm just going to dip that in and gently use that across the bill hook, scuff out any rust. And now I'm going to sharpen it using the whetstone again. I'm going to start with the flat base, just like I did with the knife. And move up. And when we get to this end, I'm going to use a circular motion. And then I'm going to flip the ball around and do the same thing again. Starting with the base. And use a circular motion to sharpen the tip. Counting, again, the same number of actions on each side. I'm going to do a glove from above, give it clean. Just to remove any debris, anything that's left in the bill hook. That's all looking clean and ready for use, so I'm going to pop it back into its cover. And that can now go back into our toolbox. Next tool, we're going to look at are my lockers. So I'm going to take these out of my First I'm going to do a visual check. I'm going to check how taut the handles are. If the handles are too floppy, it means they could be dangerous when learners are trying to hold them. Their hands aren't wide enough like an adult to grip them the way that we would be. So I want to make sure that when the learners are trying to hold them, they're not flopping about, revealing the blade and the cutting edge at the end. I'm going to do a visual check, make sure the handles are sturdy, make sure there's no obvious debris or rust. If there was any rust on my lockers, I could also use the wire wool for that, but I don't need to do that today. I'm going to gently use the whetstone to sharpen the cutting edge. So I'm going to do a small circular action on each side. I'm going to use the go from above technique as well. So just gently clean the blade with some water. Now that I know my lockers are sharp, I can put them safely into the bottom of my toolbox. And the last tool that we are going to look at is the bow saw. First of all, I'm going to do a visual check on the bow saw. Make sure that the handle is all in working order. I'm going to take the cover off. And I'm going to check the blade is secure all the way along. It is. I'm going to check for signs of damage. If there are any signs of damage to my bow saw blade, then the blade needs replacing. We can't sharpen the blade ourselves, so if there is any damage at all, then we just have to replace the blade. I am not going to sharpen it, but I'm going to give it a clean to remove any debris. So again, I'm going to use the glove from above technique. Fingers in the water. And just give it a clean. Just make sure that that is nice and clean. That's looking good. We can use oil on our tools. It helps to remove moisture from them. So if you've been out in a rainy forest school session, you might want to oil your tools to protect them from rusting in the moisture. So that can help. So that's another maintenance job that we can do. I'm going to pop my bow saw in the top of my toolbox, and it goes blade up, so that we can see next time we come to use it that the cover is safely on the blade before we touch anything else in the toolbox. As I said, the tools go up with us to site in these locked toolboxes. They get put in the designated tool area of our forest school site. Forest school leader is in charge of the tools coming out and the tools going back. Only take the tools in the boxes that we intend to use in that session, and we count out the tools to the learners as we use them, and then count them back in so that we know how many we've used. And we don't store any tools at all on site at Forest School. We store them all in our locked boxes in a locked shed at school, so that nothing dangerous is left on site.